I thought I knew everything about her. The way she took her coffee, the name of her first dog, the scar on her left hand from a childhood fall she described so vividly I could picture it. We were best friends for 9 years, but for 3 of those years, she was someone else entirely. And the worst part? The signs were always there. I just never looked. Sarah and I met in college. Freshman year, same dorm, same floor. She was the kind of person who remembered your birthday without Facebook, who showed up at your door with soup when you were sick without you asking. Everyone loved Sarah. She was warm, reliable, honest, or so we thought. After graduation, we both stayed in the same city. Different jobs, different apartments, but same friendship. Every Thursday, we'd meet for dinner. Every Saturday, we'd text each other good morning before we even got out of bed. She met a man named Daniel in her late 20s, a quiet, kind architect who adored her. They moved in together after 2 years. We joked that they were the most boring couple we knew, and we meant it as a compliment. From the outside, Sarah's life looked exactly like what she'd always wanted. A good man, a nice apartment, a stable career in marketing, a best friend, me, who was always a phone call away. But somewhere around year 3 of their relationship, something shifted. I didn't notice it at first. Looking back, I should have. The first sign was the phone. Sarah had always been present. Dinner, and her phone went face down on the table. That was her rule. But suddenly, the phone stayed in her hand. She'd glance at it mid-sentence and lose her train of thought. I asked her once. She said it was work stress, a difficult campaign, a client from a different time zone. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? The second sign was the trips. Sarah started traveling for work more often, conferences in other cities, a client visit in Amsterdam, a team retreat she could barely describe when I asked about it. I noticed she never posted photos from these trips. Sarah, who had documented every meal and every sunset for years, suddenly went quiet on social media when she was away. Again, I told myself it meant nothing. Then came the night everything changed. It was a Tuesday in November. Daniel called me. Not Sarah. Daniel. He was crying. He said Sarah hadn't come home the night before and wasn't answering her phone. He thought something had happened to her. He asked if I knew where she was. I didn't. I tried calling her. Nothing. I drove to their apartment. Daniel let me in. We sat in their kitchen for 2 hours, waiting. She came home at midnight. She walked in and saw both of us sitting there. And I watched something cross her face that I had never seen before. Not guilt, not panic, calculation. She was deciding in real time what version of the story to tell us. She said she'd been with a colleague, a work emergency. Her phone had died. She was sorry for scaring us. Daniel believed her. I almost did too. But that look, that half second of calculation, stayed with me. I started paying attention. Over the next 6 weeks, I noticed things I'd been too trusting to see before. A hotel loyalty points notification on her laptop screen when she passed it to me to show me a photo. A name, Marcus, that appeared twice in her phone when she left it on the table to go to the bathroom. Not a colleague. The contact photo was a sunset, personal, intimate. A laugh I heard in her voice on the phone once when she didn't know I was nearby. A laugh I had never heard her use with Daniel. Lighter, freer, like a person I didn't recognize. I confronted her on a Thursday in January. We were at our usual restaurant. I ordered wine, I waited until the food came, and then I said, "Sarah, who is Marcus?" The glass stopped halfway to her lips. 3 seconds of silence, and then she put the glass down, looked at me across the table, and said, "How long have you known?" Not a denial, not even surprise, just, "How long have you known?" Over the next 2 hours, she told me everything. Marcus was a man she'd met at a conference 18 months earlier. He lived in another city, 4 hours away. They saw each other once or twice a month, always when she claimed to be traveling for work. She said she loved Daniel. She genuinely did. But she said she felt like she'd disappeared inside their relationship, like she had become so good at being the person Daniel needed that she'd forgotten who she actually was. Marcus, she said, made her feel like herself again. She wasn't asking for my forgiveness. She wasn't asking me what to do. She was just, finally, telling the truth to someone. I sat with it for a long time. I asked her one question. "Were you ever going to tell him?" She was quiet for a long time. "I don't know," she said. I left the restaurant without finishing my dinner. I didn't call her for 3 weeks. I thought about Daniel, this quiet, kind man who had built his life around a woman who was spending her weekends in another city with someone else, who called me crying because he was scared she was hurt, who never, not once, deserved any of it. And I thought about Sarah, my Sarah, who I had known for 9 years and apparently had never fully known at all. In the end, I didn't tell Daniel. That wasn't my truth to share. Sarah ended things with Marcus 2 months later. She told me she did it because she realized she was about to lose everything. Me, Daniel, herself. Whether she told Daniel, I still don't know. She and I repaired our friendship slowly. It took over a year to feel normal again. But something did change, permanently. I no longer assume I know someone simply because I love them. The people closest to us are capable of entire worlds we never see. And sometimes, they never wanted us to. If this story made you feel something, if it made you think of someone or something you've carried, leave a comment below. I read every single one. And if you want to hear more stories like this, stories that are quiet, human, and real, subscribe and turn on notifications. Next week, a story about a secret a mother kept for 27 years. And the letter that revealed it after she was gone. They never knew. Until they did.